cooking with Advocate Aurora, and dreams never expire. What's going on, people? It's your boy Chad Cino Roper. I'm here with my sister, Chef Adija Smith. What's going on, sis?
Hey, y'all.
We back yes. For the Easter dinner for you guys. We're gonna do this thing real nice. What we doing today, sis?
Listen, it's Easter time and it just screams come together, family. But we can break out of those old traditions. You know, when we were growing up, every holiday, the food was just extremely heavy. But let's get a little bit more creative. Let's get a little bit more exquisite. Like, introduce different things to our children. You know, I didn't grow up eating certain type of foods. I just ate what was put on the plate.
There you go.
But now I have the ability to be creative, be healthy. And thank God, my sons, they have pretty broad palates, so they like different stuff. So we being different today. Today,
I love it.
We're gonna do a garlic butter lamb chop. We're gonna season that up with like some rosemary and thyme. We're gonna do some maple bacon Brussels sprouts. You can have the bacon if you just want a little extra oomph, or you can hold back on the bacon, or you can substitute for turkey bacon. You know, do what works for you. And then we're gonna do Hasselback potatoes.
Hasselback potatoes.
Yes, something a little different, but you don't have to add all the extra stuff, all the extra calories like the sour cream and the bacon and cheese. You can if you wanna go there, but if you wanna just kind of be mindful of how heavy you're intaking, just eat it how it is.
Man, I love it. So what we getting started with?
So I think the first thing we need to do is we need to start on those potatoes because they take quite a while. It really kind of depends on the size of the potato, so I try to be consistent in choosing something not too small, but you need it big enough so that it'll still hold its shape. So let's start by peeling those. I'll take one, you'll take one. And this is just a really fun side dish to make.
Y'all notice how fast she's going compared to me, right? Because I don't want to cut my doggone hand off. She going so fast. So what made you do Hasselback instead of the typical mashed or baked potato?
Well, when I was thinking about a good pairing for the lamb chops, I wanted something that didn't have to compete so much with our protein and or even our vegetables. You know, with our Brussels sprouts, they're going to have a little bit of sweetness to them. You know, we want the lamb to be the winner on the plate as well, but you want a little something to add some girth to your plate, but not too heavy. And this particular potato will give you good flavor without adding all the extra stuff.
I love it.
So, we done peeled our potato.
Yes, we did.
What we're going to do is we're going to just slice just a little bit off the bottom. This is what's going to help keep the potato from rolling when we bake it. So just a little bit. Careful with that knife.
We gotta control this knife.
All right.
Boom.
Now just go ahead and lay it down and make sure it doesn't roll.
Oh yeah, we're good to go.
Perfect. So let me show you how we're gonna slice this up. And this is kind of like that whole Hasselback technique. We're gonna take 2 chopsticks. Okay. We're gonna hold it over to the side like that. This is going to help prevent us from cutting all the way through the potato, okay? So we're just gonna make little slits.
Got you.
Keep those chopsticks there. Be as consistent as you can. And this way, when the potato is baking, it's gonna begin to fan out and it's gonna cook those slices really good.
Now, what made you think of this? You saw this somewhere, or what did you think?
It's not something that I personally came up with. It's definitely a style to doing your potato. I just personally like it. You see how it just kind of fan out like that? Yeah,
like a deck of cards.
Right. So I want you to try it. I'm gonna sit this over here, and I'll clean up our peels while you cut that.
All right, let me get my Hasselback on.
So any big plans for Easter, Chad?
Man, you know what? I just plan to eat. Eat and relax.
That's usually what the men say.
You know, I like to get that itis in me. You know,
watch those fingers.
Absolutely. We're not gonna do that.
Oh yeah,
we not have too much. We need all of them.
I told you that before, right? Those are your money makers.
Man, we need all of them.
Very good. All right.
Give me one more.
One more for the go. Okay, so go ahead, throw those in the bowl, and why don't you rinse those off for me? I'm gonna get this cleaned up, and then we're gonna get those seasoned so they can go into the oven.
Okay, so what's the next step, sis? We got those Hasselbacked, if that's the correct
word. Right. So we have our potatoes washed. We're gonna season them up now.
Okay.
So let's start with a little bit of olive oil.
Okay.
Go ahead and pour that on there and just kind of Lube them up real good, because this is gonna help our seasonings to stay on it. And it's okay to go ahead and spread the potatoes apart a little bit.
Gotcha.
And then we're gonna season those up real good.
Gotcha.
Yep, looks good, looks good.
And this allows the seasoning to stay on the potato.
Absolutely.
Correct. Okay.
Absolutely, and to prevent your potato from sticking to your pan as well. So we're gonna go ahead and season that up with a little bit of garlic and parsley salt.
Okay.
We're gonna use some black pepper. I mean, you can pretty much season these with anything that you like to put on your potatoes.
Okay.
If you wanna kind of lay back off of the salt intake, then use more powders. So, you know, use like an onion powder, right? You can put parsley. You can be very, very creative with how you season your potatoes. I personally like to put a little bit of ranch, like a dressing, dry dressing mix.
Okay.
It just kind of gives a robust flavor to the potatoes. So I just spread that on there like that, season it up real good. And one thing about these potatoes is you're gonna season them and coat them in stages.
Okay.
So we're gonna partially cook these. They're gonna start to spread. We're gonna take them out the oven. We're gonna baste them a little bit more, add a little bit more until they're done. So go ahead and just pop those on there. You can add a little bit extra season on top and go ahead and pop them in the oven.
All right. So sis, a lot of times we talked about
let's
yes, use that. Got a good mixture. We talk about family. A lot of times family has ups and downs.
Yeah.
So a lot of times these type of dinners bring us together to sometimes hash out the different things we may have going on in our families, right?
Right.
And when I say family, I don't mean blood all the time, because sometimes it's close friends, it's friends of friends and whatnot. So
we usually meet at the table to kind of talk things out or work through things.
Absolutely. So I feel like in this edition, we got to really focus on bringing the family together.
Yeah.
Regardless of what we're going through, because one thing about family is you only get one family. You can't
can't pick them.
That's it.
You got to work with what you got.
got to work with what you got and work with it the best way you can.
Absolutely.
So these type of foods allow us to not also feel good about ourselves, but also allow us to have good conversation, because we're not sluggish.
Right.
We're not tired.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
A lot of times when we eat it,
that's those heavy eating.
Yeah.
And, we eat and then we're disconnected from things because we're so consumed and full with food.
Right.
But introducing new things also gives great dialogue when it's family time.
I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
So we're gonna throw these in the oven?
Yes. Let's throw those in.
What's our temperature?
We got that set at about 360. Because they're not very small potatoes, but again, we're gonna bake in stages.
Okay.
So we're gonna let that do its thing, and then we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next.
Let's do it. So now that we got our potatoes in the oven, what's our next step, sis?
So now we're gonna start working on our Brussels sprouts.
Okay.
So we're gonna go ahead and get them cut and washed, and what I want you to do is just cut the stems off.
Okay.
Like so. And then just take that whole sprout and just cut it directly in half.
Okay.
Yep, and while you work on that, I'm going to get the bacon done.
All right.
We'll put that to the side and save that for later.
And the bacon is to add flavor, obviously.
Absolutely. It's, I like bacon, but again, that's why I said before, choose your preference. There's turkey bacon, there's beef bacon, whatever you like, you can substitute that in this part. And it's just a really, really good side dish. And what I've been noticing is that, when I find different ways to make Brussels sprouts, I eat them more, and my children like them. So
that's the power move right there.
It really is.
Enjoy it.
And I think one of the things when I was actually having a conversation with my sons, but and he was like, Mom, I never had Brussels sprouts before. I said, well, you like cabbage, right?
Right.
And he was like, oh, Ma, I love cabbage. You know that? And I said, well, it comes from the same family. Tastes slightly different, maybe a little, crunchier in texture, but essentially it comes right from the same family. So give it a try, and ever since they've liked it. So I try to find different ways to fix it.
Yeah. Brussels sprouts, I started eating, I didn't find out too much about them until I was in college.
Yeah. All right, so we have our bacon done. We're gonna go ahead and put this aside. Pardon me. And we're gonna go ahead and start with our Brussels sprouts. Now, Chad, I know you can cook a little bit.
Oh yeah, I get a little bit.
Yeah, and you told me, you ain't afraid to try a little something. And I think over the last couple of weeks that we've been kind of working on different meals, you've been trying a little thing here or there.
Yeah, at the house, I get down I think my days is every other third Thursday.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I got you.
every other Thursday.
Well, I'm gonna trust you today, and I
Okay.
think you can do this.
All right.
You notice one thing, we use olive oil a lot.
A lot, right.
Especially when we're cooking on top of heat. Versus butter. We could use butter all day, and these are some of those things again that we grew up on. You know,
Right.
our grandmothers used lard and different.
Which is way, yeah,
oh
right.
yeah, oh yeah. But olive oil is a much easier oil on your body. It's so much better for you. I mean, you can use it on salads.
And that's virgin olive oil you use,
It
correct?
is,
Yeah.
absolutely. So let's put a little bit of olive oil in here. And there are more than one way to make these Brussels sprouts. But I always like sauteed vegetables.
Yeah.
I like to eat my vegetables straight from the heat,
Yeah.
nice and sauteed. And so that's kind of how we're gonna prepare those. So we're gonna just let that oil warm up a little bit. And then we're gonna cut down some garlic.
Okay.
So we got a couple garlic cloves over there.
Okay.
And we're gonna just chop down a little bit of garlic. Now, this is a sweet, mildly sweet glazed Brussels sprout, but garlic is one of those things that, you can add to so many different things. It's just like, it just wakes everything up. So we're not using too much garlic,
Okay.
just a little bit of finely chopped garlic. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get that over into the skillet and start to break that down. And we're gonna put those Brussels sprouts right on it. Season it up with a little bit of salt and pepper. And then we're gonna add that maple.
Gotcha.
All right.
So now, what's the maple and garlic together? What is that called? What is that?
That's
do?
that sweet salty almost
salty
type of
vibe.
thing,
I
you
got
know.
you.
So it kind of gives you
Like
the
salty
best of
caramel
both.
type of thing.
Yeah, it kind of gives you the best of both worlds.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I'm gonna put a little bit of that in there. Oh, go ahead. I love how you can just hear the sizzle, right? We're gonna go ahead and break that down. Go ahead and cook that down a little bit. It's gonna get really fragrant.
It smells good. I wish I
It
could smell
does.
it.
It does. It really does. So, Easter time is one of those. It's one of those holidays for my family that we always usually get together, have dinner. But most recently, my mom called and she just was like, she was kind of feeling down because my brother he's battling a very, very terminal illness. And she didn't really want to engage the family like we normally do.
Right.
But it just reminded me, Chad, that we have to take advantage of every moment.
Yes, absolutely.
Not just Easter, but every day. But just being mindful about what's going on with our health, how we take care of our bodies, and just cherishing those moments. Because my brother, he's fighting. He's definitely a fighter. But these are moments that we have to come together as family during a very hard time and really just kind of keep pushing him to keep fighting, keeping the journey as long as he wants that fight,
Absolutely. And I feel that a lot of times we overlook moments.
Right.
Because we're so in to what's going on.
Yeah.
We overlook the moments, and I think it's extremely important that not only when you overlook a moment, you look back on the moments when the moments become memories.
Right.
When you should be looking in the moment. You know what I mean? It's easy to
Look
think
in the
about
moment and create the memory.
Absolutely. I 100% agree. You gotta do
Absolutely.
that.
And so, I just really encouraged her, let's not miss the opportunity to create that,
No,
and it, it is,
Yeah.
So Easter is, that again, that brings that whole family bonding time together again. And it's, something we just can't miss.
I agree. So make sure y'all remember, when you miss the moment, only thing left is a memory. You're gonna remember when we used to do this. Take advantage of that moment. So that's a good memory that sticks with you for a long time.
I like that. Don't miss the moment.
Don't miss the moment.
I'm with it. So we're not gonna miss the moment to eat these Brussels sprouts when they finish.
We're gonna get right to
So we're
it.
gonna go ahead and we're gonna let those kind of cook and saute a little bit.
Do we need
And
a
it
little more
takes
oil?
a little bit. We do need a little bit more. I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah, man. Chef C is in the building too now.
Chef C, no.
Yeah, we out here.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and let that do its thing.
Okay.
We're gonna take that flame down just a little bit. We got our Brussels sprouts cooking. We're gonna go ahead and let them saute for a little bit. And while that's working, let's baste our potatoes again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create another layer of olive oil. And now this time we're gonna add a little bit of grated Parmesan cheese on the top of it.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so now we got those working. What's the next step?
All right, so I'm just going ahead and I'm flipping my sprouts over a little bit because I like to sear them a little bit. I like a little char on my Brussels sprouts. But again, this is something you cook to your liking. Some people like them to have a little bit more crunch to them. Some people like them a lot softer. I'm kind of in the middle.
Okay.
But they're partially done, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna add some maple syrup.
Okay.
And this is some pure maple syrup. And this is kind of like just a caramelizing process to the Brussels sprouts. Okay. So that, you know, when you eat them, the first thing that hits your palate is a little sweet, and then it'll move you to those more savory flavor profiles of the entree.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then while that's, I'm just flipping that around, it's kind of charring a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw that bacon in there. Okay. Because the other thing is that bacon will start to get coated with that maple syrup as well.
So salt and sweet.
Oh, it's such a wonderful combination.
Gotcha.
Kind of like me and you. We a good combination in this kitchen.
We working.
Go ahead, Chad, and throw that bacon in there for me. Okay. Now, again, this is optional.
Yeah.
If you don't want to add the bacon, cut the bacon. Yep. If you want to substitute it for turkey bacon, or some people can even choose to substitute it for like a smoked sausage. I would just recommend, cook that down, char it a little bit. You can add smoked sausage or Cajun sausage. The meat that you add to this entree is really
your choice.
It really is. It's up to your choice. Gotcha. But this is a really good pairing, and they're almost done, almost cooked to my liking. I'm gonna just let them sit there, and now we can kind of move on to our final part.
The choppy chops.
the meat you like.
Let's get to it.
All right.
All right, sis, so now we got the choppity chops, or better known as lamb chops.
Right.
What are we gonna do with them?
So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get them seasoned up. I've already marinated them a little bit in some Worcestershire sauce, just to kind of get down into the meat, because this is a pretty nice cut lamb chop.
Yes, it is.
And so we're gonna go ahead and season it up and get that going, and we're gonna saute some mushrooms as well, just to add to them. It's, again, one of those pairings that if you like it, you do. If you don't, you don't. But it's a good thing. You're a mushroom guy.
So I'm gonna knock the mushrooms out. I'm gonna let you handle the.
I think you can handle it. Just throw a little olive oil in that skillet. Go ahead and saute up those mushrooms. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn this skillet on, because what I wanna do is I wanna get the skillet hot. Okay. Before I actually get my lamb chops in there. Okay. One of the other things, I usually would cook lamb chops on maybe a cast iron skillet. But we're gonna do a non-stick skillet right now. We're gonna still heat that up. We're gonna lightly season the lamb chops up with some onion powder, garlic. We're gonna use some fresh garlic, because we're gonna do like a garlic butter lamb chop. And then we're gonna add some rosemary and thyme, just to really kind of help bring some really good flavor. So saute those mushrooms for me, chop down a little bit of garlic, and these lamb chops are at room temperature. What's important about that is you wanna let that protein rest to room temperature so that it doesn't cook extremely fast. Okay. And when it hits that heat. The other thing is, some people like their lamb chops cooked to different doneness. Right. So, rare or medium rare or well done. It's your option. It's just gonna be how long or how little you actually have that in that skillet there. So I'm gonna let that warm up a little bit. All right. So this is our Easter segment, Chad, and we've been talking about just the importance of family, how we bring family together, family not just being by blood. Exactly. One thing that it reminds me of is how our nation really came together during COVID. Right. And it really just brought people together. Right. It was such a beautiful sight to see, because we come from a very divided nation, and during that time, it really allowed us to exercise oneness. Yes. And I think that's needed. Oh, absolutely. Definitely needed. It doesn't matter, your ethnicity, your spiritual beliefs, your political beliefs, going through COVID-19 was a time that was just dramatic for the entire world. And so it required us to really think about how much more we really have in common than what we have different. And one thing about COVID-19,
It didn't care your affiliation, if it's gonna come and get you. It didn't care if you was Democratic, Republican, Independent.
Right.
It didn't care if you was black,
right.
white, orange, green.
That's right.
It cared that it had a purpose, was to come in and destroy
destroy
some
some things.
That I agree 100% with you. It's all about being together in this thing, man.
And so
I think that's the key.
That togetherness, again, is that representation of family.
Yeah.
So I really encourage, people to, look at that as a lesson.
Yes.
That time as a lesson, and it's not over.
No,
we're still going through.
Yes, absolutely.
And I think that it changed the mindset of a lot of people. I know, I can see that, communities are doing things differently.
Yes, they are.
Since COVID, and people are responding differently, just to how they treat one another since COVID. When those chops are just about done, we're gonna add some garlic. We're gonna add a little bit of unsalted butter. We're gonna add some rosemary and thyme, and that's gonna let us finish off, that whole flavor profile. But you keep working on those. Look at you flicking the wrist.
From episode 1, I think I should be decent now.
Oh yeah. Oh, our Brussels sprouts are looking great. We got some good eating to do. Now listen.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I know people probably thought when we were coming to do our Easter episode, we were gonna have Cornish hen and mashed potatoes and all these different things, ham. But this is this is just a different way to do it.
Hey man, speaking of that, I'm starting to smell those potatoes.
Oh yeah, why don't you take a look at those, because they should be almost done. Maybe one more basting of the brush.
Okay.
And we should be on our last leg of our Hasselback potatoes. And I'm gonna get these lamb chops going, and then we're gonna be ready to dig in. We're gonna show people how we do it, how we do Easter dinner, Chad and Adija style.
That's it.
All right, don't miss the moment.
Do not miss the moment. It will be a memory before you know it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
The food gonna be gone.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so now we got our potatoes done. Our Brussels sprouts are done. Now let's go ahead and finish up these lamb chops, or I like to call them choppity chops.
Yeah, we're gonna finish this off. So they're almost done cooking. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw a little bit of garlic in there. We've added about a tablespoon of unsalted butter. I'm gonna add some rosemary and thyme. And now I'm just really kind of gonna baste these babies a little bit. And then we're gonna be ready to go. We're gonna be ready to eat. I know that's your favorite part.
That's it. That's the part of the show I love to get to.
Oh yeah. They smell so good.
Yes, they do.
And this is a method that you can, you can do this in the oven. You can do lamb chops on the grill. Listen, we are in a time now where everyone's best friend has become the air fryer.
That's a fact.
We need to start teaching people how to do some things with air fryer.
I think we might need to drop that in the next episode.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. It's a very quick way to cook, and it takes out all the fats and all the oils.
That rosemary smells great.
It is smelling up in here, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready to eat.
My back and stomach is playing petty. You hit me.
Listen, this is a quick meal for Easter. Again, it doesn't allow you to be in the kitchen for hours, and it's not going to have you laying in the bed for hours afterwards. So if you're looking for a easy, exquisite meal for Easter this season, try something different. Pair it with some scallops, some grilled shrimp, whatever you like.
Lobster tail.
However
you feeling.
Baked sweet potato. I mean, the opportunities for pairings are endless. But whatever you do, just do it with love and don't miss the moment.
Do not miss the moment, because it will become a memory.
A memory. And this is gonna be a memory after it get on that plate.
It's ready to be. All I'm looking at M-E-M. I'm spelling memory as I look at it.
Look, which one you got your eye on?
Him over here.
Oh yeah, I got my eye on that little baby.
There we go. There we go.
And I've got my eye on that plate.
Ain't nothing left to do now but dig in, sis.
That's it.
Man, let's get to it.
Because you don't want to miss this moment.
Oh, because this is about to be a memory. And one thing about a dream, it never expires. See y'all next episode.
It's a Hasselback for me.
Oh, that's official.